Okay, so what happened? Did he fire her? Did she quit? Or is it like we need a distraction because this budget
Yeah.
has to come out
No,
finally?
but based on like her tone, it seems like
Is it like a
she
magician?
she wanted to go. Did you see the budget? Did you see the budget update?
Isn't that fucking nuts?
Is that like, do you think
How
that
do you
they're
do that?
worried about what their budget says or if they've got a surplus or a deficit? It is like literally the last thing on their mind. They're like, $40 billion up 60. Look at the
Daryl, we
money they're
wanted to
sending out.
talk to you about the
Yeah.
budget because we were supposed to be at about 20 billion. And we noticed that after you were finished construction on the project, we were hovering around 60 billion. And so we wanted to discuss your bonus with you because we think you did such a fantastic job. We were thinking about maybe keeping you on for a few more years,
Give you some
you know,
stocks, increase your
right?
pay, a little
Maybe
bit more,
interest-free loans,
incentives,
right?
right?
What the fuck is going on? How can you be so far off? And then, okay, so what happened? Did he fire her? Did she quit? Or is it like we need a distraction because this budget
Yeah.
has to come out
No,
finally?
but based on like her tone, it seems like
Is it like a
she
magician?
she wanted to go. But I think at the end of the day, um, it's obvious that we were struggling in that area. It's obvious that there needs to be somebody to blame. It's obvious that there's got to be, a reshuffling of the cabinet, that there's going to be
What
new
the fuck
housing
does that do?
ministers.
How does
Like
that fix anything?
if you read the housing minister's claim, it's all for his family and all that stuff, and good for him.
Oh,
She
fuck
was a
off.
little bit more, feisty, I guess, on her way out,
What the hell
right?
does shuffling
She
the
was
cabinet do? What does this do?
It protects the overall liberal party. I mean, that's what they're going to do. I mean, they need to shuffle the top, they need to shuffle that guy, and so then that way, remember, they're trying to win an election later this year, and
So
they got to
you're
figure out who
really
is the best
bad at your
person.
job, right? You're really bad at what you're doing right now. So we're going to just move you over here where you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. We're going to move you here and you. Hey, Sally,
Well, no, they're not
you are
everybody's not
horrible at
everybody's in the
that.
minister cabinet, right?
Let's
Not
move you
everybody's
over
in
here.
not they don't move them anywhere. They just go back to being an MP and they just take care of their constituents. But
Right.
they take other MPs and they say, "Hey, guess what? You know how you were telling me you're really good at environmental stuff? Well, you're now the housing minister."
Remember
You
you
know?
were telling me how much you love those paper straws? Well,
Yeah.
guess what? Right? You're
Finance
now the
minister.
environmental minister
Yeah.
and deputy finance minister of Canada.
So these
Why the
are
fuck not?
obviously major changes that are happening. But the fact that is, the budget is really not as important as people think as it
Eh,
should be. As it
eh,
should be. They do
eh,
what they got to do, right? So
just
I'm not worried
ignore
about
that,
I'm not
right?
worried about the government not having enough money to fund all this through taxation and all that kind of stuff because they
Don't
are going to do
worry.
whatever they want. Let's talk about where the money goes. I
Where
mean,
does it go
they
to,
like
Kay?
to give out a lot of money.
Where does it go? It goes
And
to
and
like
and people don't
coders, programmers.
no, probably. But
It goes to
here's some of the issues.
foundations,
People people
foundations.
people don't want to talk about, supporting countries like Ukraine and supporting other countries. They say,
Oh
well,
yeah.
we're here to support, Ukraine. I mean, those poor people and everything else. I get it. But what about Canadians? Why
Fuck
would we
Canadians.
why would we not make sure, like, I'm happy to like give them an IOU and say, "Hey, when we get back on track, we'll give you all the money that,
We'll
we
figure
said we
out
would
the
normally
problems
would give
then.
you, but
Yeah.
just right now we can't."
And simultaneously, we will flood the country with more people than it can handle.
Yeah.
And we'll send all the money to other countries to help them out.
That
This
then
is
there's more sensitive
brilliant.
issues like the indigenous money that gets handed out every year too, right? No one wants to talk about
Bribes.
that either,
Right.
right? Again,
Bribes
things
everywhere.
like that, looking at the big picture and saying to yourself, hey, like where does the money really need to go right now, and how are we going to be able to get through this? And at this point in time, liberal spending is like the worst thing that we could have ever, thought of. And
I
that
can't even
are the conservatives going to come in and start to, cut everything to the point where we can actually get back on track? I don't know if they can.
why not? Why aren't they going to do? Look at what's going on in the States. Like he's not even in power yet. They're already calling Musk, President Musk, and Vice President Trump over there because Musk is having so much influence. Did you see they turned down that 1,500 page bill that they were trying to sneak through? Did you see that whole
No,
thing? And
no,
they got it chopped down to like 150 pages or something like that. But this is
yeah,
what these motherfuckers do is they write these crazy bills, they sneak all kinds of shit in, they give everybody 3 hours to look at it.
yeah,
Well, nobody can even understand the wording in it because they're all a bunch of fucking dummies, these guys, except
yeah.
for the few that are lawyers. But I don't even think we get lawyers anymore. Like we really get scumbags that are willing to do like whatever whoever talked them into running for government, right?
Yeah.
Whatever they said that they need to do, they're just willing to do, right? They find like these guys that are willing to run and do whatever's necessary for these business interests all the time. This is what
Yeah.
it's turned into, right?
Yeah.
Lawyers, I guess, are pretty scummy if they're in there too, because they really know how to fuck shit up and
There's
manipulate things. Are you dying to have the Canadian Real Estate Show merch?
Ho ho ho! I bet they are, Daryl. Guess what?
Ho, ho, ho.
Now they can buy it themselves. Go check out the merch store.
What a Christmas gift this would be. Make Canada great again, TK.
Your significant other, think about them opening up on Christmas Day, a gift from the Canadian Real Estate Show. Maybe they don't even know what that is,
Maybe
but
they don't.
imagine the look on their eyes of surprise.
Yeah.
Guys, for very reasonable rates that we make very little money on, check out the merch store and support the cause.